Hello there, this is Nellis Geek, and today we talk about Franco's Vampyros Lesbos, a movie that I put in my to watch list for the 13 horror movies to Halloween Silence, and instantly regretted that because what can I say about this movie? I know it's a cult movie, it's exploitation a movie from the 70s. I think it was directed in 1971. It's a Spanish German co production, and it's an exploitation movie. It's about lesbian vampires, which is a subgenre of its own in European movies, I guess. It stars Soledad Miranda, and, which was a rising star in Spanish movies back then, but she died very young. And that was the same because her career from her appearance is amazing. She looks great, and she plays a countess, which is Bride of Dracula. But the star of this movie is Eva Stromberg, which plays Linda Westinghouse. She's a lawyer in Istanbul, and she's called to go visit a countess who wants to inherit Count Dracula's inheritance. And she is visiting a psychologist because she has some deep issues. She doesn't feel quite connected to her fiance. She gets aroused by a strip show she was watching, and her doctor, because in the 70s, doesn't tell her, "Girl, you know what? You're lesbian. Stop worrying about it." Instead, he goes the mumbo jumbo about, you should maybe find another lover, about, oh, it's natural, and those kind of stuff. Because of the 70s, I guess. So she goes to this countess, and you really want to watch this movie if you ever want to see a sunbathing vampire, because that's what's happening. This Franco is bases much of the mythos, the vampire mythos, on Bram Stoker's Count Dracula. He actually has a very faithful adaptation of Dracula, starring Christopher Lee, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm planning to. It's not sleazy as far as I know, it's a straight up horror movie. And in Dracula, if you remember, in Bram Stoker's Dracula, Dracula was able to walk around in the sun, but he was weak when he did so. And since it's Istanbul, she's sunbathing, she's on the beach, and she seduces Linda. And after her seduction, Linda ends up in a mental facility, and then stuff happens. Really, this movie is very light on the story, but it's also very stylish. I mean, I can understand why it's a cult movie because it doesn't feel like a cheap skin flick. Which, mind you, it is an erotic horror movie, and much of the appeal is seeing these two women engaging with one another. The story is very light, but it's a psychedelic movie. There is a lot of psychedelic rock music. There's a lot of footage thrown in there that makes very little sense. I mean, there is a scorpion walking under the sun, under the hot Mediterranean sun on some yard, and we have all the footage inserted in there, maybe in order to, pad out the time, because this movie is very simply made. Some of the acting is horrendous, and some scenes are clearly so they were shot once or twice for expediency's sake, and they look that great. It's very rushed production, very cheap production, but there are some amazing set pieces. There's some amazing lighting, some set design that looks great, and it's like watching two movies. It's a very stylish but very low budget movie. I would actually call it a low budget Argento, even though it was filmed around the time when Argento started filming his films. So I cannot say, but you get the gist of it. So the acting is all over the place, and it doesn't quite resonate with many of the scenes, many of the more dramatic scenes. But I mean, what was expecting? This movie is called Lesbian Vampires. What's this movie made? I mean, I'm happy there's a story in there. I can see why it's a cult classic. And for its intended purposes, I mean, we can do far worse than Miranda. It's very tough to say more about this movie because it's very cheap. It's very cheap, what we'd call Eurotrash, but it was interesting in a way for the psychedelic whole imagery and the stock footage. I mean, there is one scene, there is a strip show that was probably only recorded once, but it is shown twice. And it's a girl. stripping and dressing a mannequin with her clothes, and it's shown twice. Only the second time we see it, we have to believe that the mannequin is not a woman. That's the level of cheap we're talking about. It looks good occasionally. The acting is not good, as I said before, and I'm repeating myself, so I better stop this review right now. Get the gist of it. It's not. I mean, if you want to watch Jess Franco exploitation movie, probably that's the one you want to see. But then I haven't seen any of his other infamous movies. Maybe, I don't know, Exorcism will be better. Not that I plan to see it anytime soon. But yes, it's not. Yeah, it's a tough one to review. Thank you for watching. Comment if you have seen this movie, and I'll see you soon in another video.